guys, welcome to today's edition. Last week I did a presentation on tragedy of the commons, right? And I believe you have digested the issues very well. Okay, right.
Okay, so Doc, last week we discussed the tragedy of the commons and some of the implications that it may occur if steps are not put in place to address them. So um, this time around, I want to find out some of the implications of the concept of tragedy of the commons in Ghana's context.
So thank you. Applying the tragedy of the commons concept to the Ghanaian context, let's look at it this way. Mostly, tragedy of the commons applies to what you call common pool resource. Common pool resource involves a resource that everybody can tap into it. Neither has exclusive right to its usage. So it is a resource that is available for the use of everybody. And this applies to public resources, which is held in trust by government. And so let's look at how states or state officials use public resources. And then we may want to try to really critique or critically examine how decisions are made when it comes to public resources. For instance, look at how public resources are used in the construction of our public resources, such as classroom blocks, hospitals. And when these are not finished in terms of the construction, let's say there's a change of government, and you see this infrastructure left to rot. More than 5 years, 8 years, nothing is done about it. Go and look into the bushes. You see E-blocks scattered all over, whilst the citizens, the peoples, do not have a place to study. Almost 8 years. See what is happening to the Saglemi housing. Okay, this is a common pool resource that the state has borrowed in the name of the people. If this were someone's public, coffers, this would not have, happened. You will make sure this is completed, give it out for people to start paying, and then you can use same to be offsetting the debts. But who cares? Nobody cares. The classroom blocks, and these E-blocks are constructed. It's just for people to complete it, for the citizens to gain value. In this 21st century, we talk about what we call public value governance. Okay, I mean serving in the interest of the people gaining value from their resources. So if the monies have been borrowed, you've constructed the thing halfway, but people are not gaining any satiation from it, what have we gained? Look, individuals, when they are even constructing their houses, okay, sometimes they don't have to finish with everything, the finishing. Gets to a point and then they'll move in. Whilst they are in, they are gaining the satisfaction from the investment they've made already over time, and then they are furnishing the place. Okay, why don't we apply this same sense of urgency, this same mindset in managing public resources and assets? But hey, who cares? It's a common pool resource. I mean, how it is paid, it is not from the leader's own pockets. And so we'll abandon this, also go and break grounds to start something afresh. Sometimes even trying to go and look for a different land. You also dot these things around. There were some hospitals which were almost ready. These will not be constructed, but we will start something new. Agenda 111. We also dot it there. Okay, you dot it there. Now you have few months, you also leave. And then the next person comes, they also will leave it like that. In the end, the citizens don't get the value of resources. Public expenditure is made, yet the value that is supposed to accrue to the citizens, we are not getting it. That is how the tragedy of the commons is applied here. Okay, and you have other resources, including natural resources. Okay, like the Atiwa forest, the Achimota forest, and these. Look at some of the controversies around its usage. Okay, and that is the challenge we're talking about: depletion of forest resources. So all these are applicable, and once we get to understand the tragedy of the commons and how to come out of it, that will be a key point of getting value out of the resources that the people do have, and also we get the real essence of leadership. Thank you. I hope I've answered your question.
All right, thank you very much, Doc. So
Good.
I think the misunderstanding that some of them may have concerning the concept of tragedy of the common has been cleared. So now, in short, how do we also apply, since we've applied the tragedy of the commons in Ghana's context, how do we also apply the tragedy of the commons in the global scene?
Okay, thank you. So in the global arena, there are certain issues or problems which require collective action. No one particular state, okay, can sufficiently address it, because it is a common issue. It is an issue that transcends boundaries. It transcends states, and so the effort of one state alone will not be able to address it. Okay, in local parlance they say, okay, to wit, one person, the palm of just an individual cannot blindfold God. Okay, you need collective hands, a lot of hands together before you can blindfold God, to suggest unity. Okay, unity, and that there is strength in unity. Now let's go to the global arena. Something like climate change. Okay, climate change is a phenomenon, and it occurs due to collective actions. So Japan is producing, US producing, China, Ghana. In the manufacturing process, we emit some gases into the atmosphere, and all these gases from different states, okay, and the activities of mankind, industries, and then fumes from exhaust, and all human activities globally end up in the atmosphere, and then will cause this climate change. So to address it, you need all states to come on board to make some kind of pledges, or there should be a common governance platform. But so states will meet. I see we have the Kyoto Protocols of 1997, and then the recent Paris Agreement, okay, 2015, where states have made pledges, what we call the nationally determined contributions. But these, and also states have made some kind of promises to make some resources available to address this global canker. But hey, if a particular state will not want to comply, okay, or will not want to do their part of this collective issue, then there will be a debacle. The Kyoto Protocol did not become so effective because some states were dragging their feet with recourse to the commitments they had to make the thing so successful. And same thing, the Paris Agreement, the US committed to it. But when Trump came into power, he made some reversals, okay? He didn't want to commit US to, most of the commitment that the predecessor had made. In his mind, he said, Americans first. Americans first. But of course, every state wants their national interest. But we also have a collective agenda, which is to rescue the globe from global warming and climate change, and its issues, consequences. So he said American first, and so most of the things like using fossil fuels and the commitments that would have made companies engage in a cleaner energy, which is of course quite expensive and what have you. Hey. And this saw many states, US, the UK, and then several other European states, and even Chinese, their leader, okay, to call on Trump, okay, to go by what the predecessor had made, but he still insisted that no, it would take Biden, okay, who would assume power and will want to right the wrong, where he will make commitment that now US has come on board to help address this global canker, okay. So that is the tragedy of the commons, even at the global level, where an issue which requires collective action, okay, collective action, so that the accrual of the violence or the satiation will go to everyone. But if particular states will want to be so parochial, okay, will be inward looking, then the collective action will not suffice. So then, in that case, if all the other states come together, will reduce their emissions, and then we get cleaner energy, global warming reduces. But those who did not take part, they will still enjoy that quality, air. That is the challenge there. So then you have free rider syndrome, okay? So the tragedy of the commons, people who will not engage in some of these, so then you need a collective action to address this global phenomenon. Those that will not want to partake but will want to enjoy, that is when we have the free rider syndrome. But no, you have to bring everybody on board, because once the thing comes on board, you cannot prevent anyone from using same, okay? A story is told of the hawk and the hen. So, but the hawk said, my friend hen, let us go into the bush and then cut wood to make some drum, so that we can enjoy. When we are free, at our leisure, we can play the drum and then we will enjoy. Hen said, look, I am sick, I can't go to the bush. But the hawk said, why don't you please give me your hoes and your axe, so that I'll go to the bush and cut the wood to make the drum. Well, the hen said, please, my axe and my hoe, my cutlass, they are all sick. Hey! So the hawk, would have to use some rudimentary approach to go to the bush, cut the wood, come and make the drum. But let's see how, the hen, who has been a free rider in this syndrome, okay, wanted to take advantage. But each time the hawk is playing the drum, the hen will be there, will be also dancing to the tune, will be enjoying. Even though the hen did not take part in the creation of this collective good, the drum, the hawk could not prevent the hen from enjoying the sound, because once the sound is being played, wherever the hen was, because he was closer, he could still enjoy the tune. But one day the hawk had gone to the farm, so the drum was not played and the hen was not enjoying. So he sneaked to the hawk's room just to take the drum to play. So whilst he was enjoying, not knowing, the hawk was just behind the building. So he quickly pounced on the hen, but the hen attempted to run. And that has been a kind of myth or a legend. That is why anytime, when the hawk sees the chicks of the hen, to want to pounce on them as a retaliation for the free riding that their mother hen did not take part in the creation of the drum but wanted to enjoy. That is the issue. So collective issues require everybody to come on board, but sometimes some people may not want to engage, but once it comes they would enjoy anyway. Right, good. Any other? I hope you find.
All right, so thank you very much, Doc. So now we've understood tragedy of the commons in Ghana's context, in the international context as well, and you've explained the collective action problem as well, together with the free riders. So before we end this episode, is there any final remarks, conclusion that you'd like to draw?
Yes, so what I believe in to address the collective action problem, we should be all encompassing, because when it comes to the creation of our public good, regardless, even if people do not take part, they are going to enjoy. You cannot prevent them from enjoying. So you need to put in place mechanisms to ensure that all people come on board, in the creation of public good. And if I should also bring it back to the governance issue, whatever decision that a public officer will make, the consequence will not be on the public officer only. The consequence is on everybody. It's a collective decision they've made. It becomes a collective issue. And so we should always be up and doing. And I love organized labor. These recent times, they have demonstrated the power of the people. For instance, in recent times, the government of Ghana attempted to sell some public assets, hotels. People made cogent arguments. Still, the government would not. And this was a cabinet minister who was going to buy the state assets. People spoke, wrote a lot, but it appeared the government wouldn't want to listen. It would take threats from organized labor to say, hey, no, we are not allowing this. We will not allow this. And that is the way to go. Organized labor, students, the academia, researchers, the media, the clergy, traditional authority. Because people have the tendency, there's a general inclination of mankind, a perpetual and restless, struggle for power after power, and this ceases only after death. So, no, don't say people have riches already. No, they will continue to maximize their gains if we don't put in place mechanisms to prevent them. There's a general inclination of mankind, and this will continue to persist. It takes collective effort to tame the tendencies of leaders or public officers. Otherwise, you don't just elect leaders and then go to sleep. No. Once you make that, it's a mistake. When we talk of political participation, it refers to, all the processes involved with people or citizens, in selecting their leaders. That is just one. As well as all the processes involved in influencing decisions, made by their leaders. So, electing leaders is one side. You don't go to sleep. You need to put in place mechanisms to ensure you influence decisions. For instance, this one, it was the decision of the government to sell these state hotels to, a cabinet minister. if the people had gone to sleep, this thing would have been sold. Then in the end, what happens? Few individuals are going to get the benefit thereof. So my concluding remark is that people should be vigilant, okay? We should have evaluative political culture, and I will make a whole video on that. We should have that evaluative political culture, which is scrutinizing every decision of government, every action. Don't say this person is good. No. Trust is episodal. That you trust a person does not mean for every decision you can trust the person on that. Okay? Sometimes the person is misled, or he does not have the full details of what he or she is embarking on, or he doesn't have the full information. It takes collective effort to ensure that we will scrutinize and evaluate every decision that our leaders will make on our behalf, so that we are able to get the best out of every expenditure that we make. Thank you very much.